the microphone back here and let everyone else like what they do in the football games under the helmet thing. They put the microphone with everybody. Here we go. My Jesus, I love thee. I know thou art mine. For thee all the follies of sin I resign. My gracious Redeemer, my Savior art thou. If ever I love thee, my Jesus, 'tis now. I love thee because thou hast first loved me, and purchased my pardon on Calvary's tree. I love thee for wearing the thorns on thy brow. If ever I love thee, my Jesus, 'tis now. I'll love thee in life, I will love thee in death, and praise thee as long as thou lendest me breath, and say when the death dew lies cold on my brow, if ever I love thee, my Jesus, 'tis now. In mansions of glory and endless delight, I'll ever adore thee in heaven so bright. I'll sing with a glittering crown on my brow, if ever I love thee, my Jesus, is now. Thank you. Have a seat. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Does anybody have a spoken prayer request? Yes. Good. Okay. We will. Patsy Summers? Jim Summersfeld? Okay. You can tell him. You can remind him. Like, okay. Anybody else with a spoken request? Right. And let them know that if they eliminate your job, you can go to work in a private field making about twice as much as you are as a state. Yeah, you have different than that. We can do this if we want to. We're only here just to help you out with your job. Yes, you have to know that. Okay. Thank you. Martin? Okay. Just, okay. Anybody else with a spoken request? There's a lady that is a secretary at Mountain Mission. Her name is Brenda. Her husband Ed is in the hospital, and so we add him to our prayer list too. Your wife's in the hospital. Request to talk to her the other day. All right, anybody else? Okay. Anybody else? You do an unspoken request that you want to pray about? Not this right now. Let's go. Rob, will you lead us in prayer? All right. Next Saturday night is the kids' party class for the classes upstairs. I don't think do we need to have a party in our class? Christmas party? No, we won't have a class. We will not have a class party in our class Wednesday night because our class party is this Saturday night for the adult Christmas dinner at 5 o'clock here at the church. And I think all the ladies met on Sunday morning, this past Sunday, about who's bringing what for the meal on Saturday night. So our party will be Saturday night at 5 o'clock, and the kids will have their party in their classrooms next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Okay? The following Sunday morning, the kids will be singing in the morning service on the 22nd. I'm looking forward to that because I love to hear the kids sing. Okay. Anybody got testimony before we get into scriptures? God's blessed you in some way. You want to tell everybody about it. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 8. Second Kings chapter 8. In 2 Kings, last month, 6 weeks, we've been talking about a certain prophet. What prophet we've been talking about? Without looking, everybody look up this way before you answer the question. Elisha. Okay? Elijah was before Elisha. Okay? So we're going to read a couple verses in 2 Kings chapter 8, and I'm going to review some of Elisha's story and his relationship with a certain man. Okay? 2 Kings chapter 8. You got it? Look down at verse 7. Elisha came to Damascus. Where's Damascus? Syria. It is now, and it was then too. It hadn't moved much. Okay? No matter who controls the land, it hasn't changed anything. That's what means funny. And Elisha came to Damascus, and Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, was sick. And it was told him, saying, the man of God has come hither. And the king said unto Hazael, take a present in thine hand, and go meet the man of God, and inquire of the Lord by him, saying, shall I recover this disease? Stop reading right there. Look this way. Okay? Now I'm going to review just a little bit about of this relationship between Ben-Hadad, king of Syria. If you look at Israel, Syria is kind of off to the northeast. I'm looking at it right, not looking at it backward. Northeast of Israel. So Damascus is not far from Israel. And they've invaded Israel and fought against Israel all their lives. Okay, and still today, a lot of Syrians hate Israel. Okay. Ben-Hadad is the king. He knows who Elisha is. He has heard that Elisha has come to Damascus, where it's the capital city where he's at, and he wants to send Hazael down to see Elisha, because Ben-Hadad is sick, and he wants to know whether he's going to recover of this sickness or not. Okay, I'm going to review a couple things. Ben-Hadad, chapter 6, is the one who had come into Samaria, the capital city of Israel, and besieged the city until everyone was starving to death. That's who Ben-Hadad is. Okay, he hates Israelites. Okay, Ben-Hadad also is the one who was trying to kill the king of Israel several times, and every time he'd send somebody out he'd set a trap, like an ambush for the king of Israel, and wherever he set the ambush at, Elisha would tell the king of Israel where Ben-Hadad was. Jehoram was the king of Israel, and Elisha would send a message to Jehoram and says, "Don't go down that road. The Syrians are down there. They're going to try to kill you." And this is back in chapter 5, chapter 6. And so every time the king of Syria tried to kill the king of Israel, he couldn't do it. It was Elisha's fault. well, not really Elisha's fault, but he blamed Elisha for it because Elisha outsmarted him to the point where the king of this Ben-Hadad got so mad he sent troops down to kill Elisha himself, to kill the prophet. And you remember the story. They came to the place where Elisha was, and Elisha and his servant were in the house, and the Syrians surrounded where they were. And so when the servant came out in the morning, he saw the Syrians camped all the way around him. And it's just Elisha and his servant there in the house. And he came back, the servant ran back in the house and said, Master, what should we do? They're here to take you, or to kill you. They kill you, kill me too. And Elisha said, open his eyes, Lord, and he'll see that there's more with us than there are with them. And so the servant looked back outside, and he said, there's still just two of us, and there's 1,000 of them. What are we supposed to do? And so Elisha prayed that God would smite them with blindness. He smote the Syrians with blindness, and he said, hey, guys, you've been trying to catch the king of Israel. Remember the story from about a month ago with this? He said, you've been trying to catch the king of Israel. He's not here. Follow me. I'll show you the man you really want to see. So you can see it, like whether it's hundreds or thousands of men, blind men walking down the road, or holding onto each other's shoulder, walking down the road. So he takes them right in downtown, in the middle of Samaria, and says, okay, Lord, open their eyes. And they open their eyes. Of course, they probably don't have the weapons with them on. I'd say they laid them down when they couldn't see. They're like, yes, who needs to carry a sword when we can't see anything? And so there they are in the capital city of Samaria, and the Israelites are all around them. And the king of Israel said, shall I kill them? And Elisha said, no, don't kill them. Feed them and send them back home. So he gave them like a big feast and sent them back to their home. They said, well, we can't go chase after the king of Israel anymore because we can't kill the king of Israel because Elisha tells them where we're going. Okay? We can't kill Elisha because God will smite us all with blindness again, or where God does whatever he wants to do whenever we try to. So that's who Ben-Hadad is. He's the one he's always after Israel. Okay? Knowing this. And knowing that Elisha is the one who said, feed them, don't kill them all, feed them. Okay? When Naaman the leper, the captain of the host of Syria, the captain of his army, Syrian army, had leprosy, Ben-Hadad sent him to the king of Israel. The king of Israel couldn't do anything, and Elisha's the one who told him to go dip in the river, and he was cleansed of his leprosy. Okay, Ben-Hadad knows all these stories of who Elisha is. He knows who the God of Elisha is, the God of Israel. Okay, he knows all this. So he hears that Elisha has come to his city. Okay, first of all, I think it's kind of bold for Elisha just to go. He can go wherever he wants to go, right? Who's going to say anything to him? He's going down to the capital city of the Syrians, and you would think that before they all wanted to kill him, right? Or at least the king did. And you think that it's kind of bold of him to do that. I mean, you think that'd be a bold move for him to walk through the midst of Syria. So, okay, guys, I'm here. What do you need? Ben-Hadad hears he's there. He turns to his servant Hazel, and he says, "Take a gift and go down and see him. I'm really sick." Ben-Hadad is really sick. He said, ask him if I'm going to recover of this illness that I have. So Hazel, how far it was from where Elisha was to where they were, they load up 40 camels loaded down with the best of all that Syria has as a gift for Elisha. Okay? Now we'll go read more of the story because I always want to review who Elisha had had about this. Okay? Because look up this way. Look one more thing. Kings that go to war, and most often politics, is just a game to people. Okay? I say the politics, whether it's the city of Charleston or the national politics. What's going on in Washington, D.C. for the last 3 months about the other nations or whatever. To me, when I listen to it on the radio, it frustrates me because it's just a game. They play games with people's lives all the time. But to the leaders and to the kings, it's just a game to them. Okay? We want to win this game. Okay? It's no different than Mountaineer football. Well, they win more often. but to them, it's no different than a ball game. Okay? Now let's read on. Okay. So Hazel was sent, verse 8, Hazel was sent by Ben-Hadad. So verse 9. So Hazel went to meet Elisha, and took the present with him, even of every good thing of Damascus, 40 camels burdened, and came and stood before him, and said, Thy son, Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, has sent me to thee. That's a pretty big, bold statement there, too, isn't it? Because he's their enemy, has been their enemy all his life. But as a man of God standing there, and they're needing an answer to prayer, need to know what's going to happen, he said, Thy son, Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, has sent me to thee, saying, Shall I recover this disease? And Elisha said unto him, Go say unto him, Thou mayest certainly recover. Howbeit the Lord has showed me that he shall surely die. Stop reading right there. I want to clarify this. Elisha looks at Hazel standing before him. He said, Go tell him he's going to recover from this illness. Okay, he can recover from this illness. The illness is not going to kill him. But he just starts staring at Hazel. And Elisha, the prophet, is standing there staring at Hazel, and he begins to weep. Okay? Hazel said, Why are you weeping? Okay? End of verse 10. Howbeit the Lord has showed me that he shall surely die. So Elisha knows that Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, is going to die. And he settled his countenance steadfastly. It means that Elisha sitting there staring at Hazel until he was ashamed, and the man of God wept. It means Hazel is looking eye to eye with Elisha, and Elisha just stared him down. Okay, until Hazel is ashamed. He said, "Why are you weeping?" You know, he thinks like, "What are you staring at me like that for?" Okay. And he said, "Why weepest, my Lord?" Verse 12. And he answered, Because I know the evil that thou wilt do to the children of Israel. Their strongholds wilt thou set on fire, and their young men wilt thou slay with the sword, and will dash their children, and rip up their women with child. That means you will kill every pregnant lady you can, you will kill every child you can. We know what you're going to. Well, I know what you're going to do when you become king of Syria. Okay. And Hazel said, "But what is thy servant a dog that he should do this great thing?" And Elisha answered, "The Lord has showed me, and thou shalt be king over Syria." Stop. Look at this way. Not only does Elisha look at this king and says, "I know you're going to be king over Syria, but I know what you're going to do. You're going to defeat us in battle. You're going to be cruel in how you treat the women of our country. Pregnant ladies, you're going to kill, rip them open. Children, you're going to dash. You're going to run over them, dash them on the stones. You're going to kill them. No life is. None of our people will be valuable to you." And Hazel said, "Am I a dog that you talk to me? You think I would do this?" And I said, "Yeah, I know you're going to do it. God's already told me what you're going to do." He does that. It's a couple chapters over. We really won't get into the battle. It's only one battle is listed where Hazel wins. Okay. And Hazel said, "What is that?" Verse 13. "What is thy servant, a dog, that he should do this great thing?" And Elisha answered, "The Lord has showed me that thou shalt be king of Israel." So he departed from Elisha and came to his master, and he said to him, "What said Elisha to thee?" And he answered, "He told me that thou shouldst surely recover." And it came to pass on the morrow, they took a thick cloth and dipped it in water and spread it on his face, so that he died. And Hazel reigned in his stead. So Ben-Hadad is laying in bed and he's sick, and his servant, probably his trusted confidant, the one he sent down to Elisha, goes in and says, "You're going to recover from this." He goes in the next day and dips a heavy cloth in water and puts it over his mouth and kills it. Okay? Yeah. Right, several things stick out to me from this. God knows the future. We all know that God knows the future. Okay? Like, a day with him was as 1,000 years. And before you were ever born, he knew who you were. Matter of fact, before he ever spoke the worlds into existence, he knew you would be here someday. He knew he had a plan for you. And think, yeah, God has no plan. A lot of times we don't have a plan for our life. But God has a perfect plan for our life, every one of us. Before we're ever born, every human's ever been born, he has a plan for your life. Okay? Way back in yonder in history, before your parents ever met, he had a perfect plan for your life. He said, "I've got a job I need you to do." He said, "Tracy, I've got a job." And we joked earlier about your state job. "I've got a job I need you to do. No one else could do it. But Charlie, I got a job you can do. No one else could do it." All the way through the line, every one of us. God says, I've got a specific job. I'm not just talking about your occupation or where you draw a paycheck from. God says, I've got a specific job for you to do, and no one else could do it. He goes, "Well, Brother John, I don't draw a paycheck. I don't have to go out and work at the grocery store or work in an office somewhere. Susanna Wesley she never had to go out and work in a job anywhere, but her husband was a pastor, and she had 13 children of her own, right? 15 children. And I think John Wesley was the 13th or the 15th or something like that. Of the 15 children, John Wesley was number 13, I think, if I remember correctly. And Charles Wesley, the one who wrote about half the songs in our songbook, was number 12. Okay? And God had her a job for her to do, but it's not, she didn't draw a check from it. She didn't retire with Social Security over it, but she raised all her kids in a godly manner, and God used her children in a mighty way. Okay? So, before you were ever born, God had a job for you to do. He knows the future of what you're going to do tomorrow. And He knows what He's going to do through you, or can do through you if you yield to Him. Okay? Not only does He know the future, He knows your intentions. Okay? He knows what you plan to do. Just like with Hazel, Elisha's looking at him, staring at him until Hazel's kind of ashamed because Elisha's staring at him and said, "What are you looking at me like that for?" He said, "Because I know what your plans are. I know what you're going to do. And you're going to kill your king, and you're going to attack our people. You're going to kill our people. You'll be cruel to our people." And he said, "I wouldn't do that. It's already in his heart." Yeah, God already knows what He's going to do. It's already there in His heart what He would do. The question that comes is this: how come God doesn't stop us from our choices? You answer me this. How come God doesn't stop us from our choices? You may know. Free will. Exactly. He gives us the opportunity. I was talking to this boy worked with me today. When people go to work with me, that means they're stuck in the truck with me for 10 hours. Okay? So a young man went to work with me today, and he's in his 20s, and I'm like, "What do you want out of life?" We talk about music, we talk about movies, we talk about sports or whatever, activities of life. And then it comes down to, what do you want out of life? What's the end result? What do you really want out of life? And we had this great conversation driving down the road today. The choices that we make. You trust Christ or you reject Christ. That's a choice. It's free will. That's exactly what it is. Do you walk with God or not? Do you pray and read your Bible or not? Do you seek His will? Seek ye first the kingdom of God, His righteousness, and all these things should be added unto you. A lot of people are seeking after things, want money or different things in life. And God said, "If you seek me, I'll give you that stuff just as a bonus." That stuff kind of comes along with you. You're walking with me. Let me ask you the question of this, because Scripture comes back. My mind is set often thinking about kids that grew up in our church that in their 20s or 30s now are not serving God. And I think, why? Why did they choose not to serve God? They're not in church. They're not doing anything. They got a job. They got a family, whatever, but they're too busy to invest in anybody else. I think about all the teachers that they had in Awanas or Sunday morning, Wednesday night class, whatever class we had time period-wise. And I think, somebody invested in your life back here. What do you do with that investment? Well, I got this investment now. I'm going to store it away. And okay, when we invest, and God knows our intentions, when we invest, how it turns out. Last Thursday night, we had a funeral. I know I mentioned this Sunday. Last Thursday night, we had a funeral up Campbell Street for a little girl that came to church here for years. And everybody here, all of our Wednesday night teachers, all our Sunday school teachers, Tammy and I invested in her and her brother and their families' lives. Okay? I would much rather invest in someone's life and get no return on the investment than to not invest in someone's life. Does that make sense? This girl died at age 24. I would much rather say, okay, we did everything we could to invest in her life, than to say, well, we invested once. And we planted, we sowed the seed. We had teachers teaching her, helping her memorize verses, and she sang up here with her brother and everybody else in the junior church. And we tried to invest. Okay? I would much rather invest. God knows our intentions. Well, what if it doesn't turn out the way you planned? Or if everything turned out the way we planned, if everybody walked through these doors, that walked through these doors, got saved and stayed here the rest of life, it would be 500 people in this church. Okay? Some got saved, went somewhere else, and the kids grew up and moved away, whatever different things have happened. God knows your intentions. He knows why you invest or if you invest in other people. And what you do is to choose. The term, as Rob mentions, is a biblical term. A lot of people use this term. Biblical scholars use the term free moral agent. I mean, life is your choice. You get to do what you want with it. But it's a freedom of choice. But the truth is, we don't choose the consequences to go with it. If we choose wrongly, we don't get to choose the consequences of those things that happen. How comes God didn't? That still doesn't explain to me why God didn't stop Hazel from being cruel. Why did He allow it? Any idea, Charlie? Why would God allow Hazel, this man, king of Syria, Hazel, to come in Elisha's day? He didn't come in and fight against. Ben-Hadad couldn't fight against Israel because he was stopped. Okay, whether the soldiers were blinded or they couldn't find the king or whatever, all the different stories. And so during Ben-Hadad's day, he really, other than the one time where he circled around Samaria and besieged the city till the food run out. Other than that time, every time he tried to attack, he lost. These soldiers went home blind. Well, they were healed and fed before they went home. But in Hazel's day, he invaded and he won. What's the difference? How come God didn't stop him? Right? Why wouldn't God stop this guy from invading Israel? I don't think in Israel, God's chosen people. Right. They don't always act like God's chosen people. Most often, they're not. Most of the history of Israel, Old Testament, most of the people are living in idolatry. They're worshiping idols instead of worshiping God, and that's what's going on here. Okay. So and every time they departed from God, God said, "Okay, you get the consequences. You get to choose what you want. You get to choose your decisions, but the consequences that follow are the king of Syria is going to come down and invade. Okay, or this other king, the Edomites or whoever it is going to come and invade your land." Hazel has a free choice, just like you and me. And I can't imagine him standing there before Elisha at this time, and Elisha said, "I know what you're going to do." If someone said, "I know what you're going to do," could he still go ahead and do what he's going to do anyway? Could he still go ahead and he did, and knowing that the man of God told him, "I know what you're going to do." Okay. Probably about 8 years ago, there's a lady that was killed on the west side of Charleston. The boy that killed her had family members, cousins that came to this church. while the boy that stabbed the elderly lady who had given him cookies and stuff, she's a neighbor lady to him. While the boy that stabbed her was killing her, she said, "Stop it, stop it." She's calling him by name. She said, "Stop it, you're killing me." He continued with him. That boy had a free choice. Didn't have to do it, right? He chose to do that. A man on the east end of Charleston about 2 years ago shot a teenage boy and killed him. Okay? Didn't have to do it. Had a free choice to do it. And I think that man has, since he was sentenced to go to prison, went to prison, I think it's already passed, if I remember right. Free choice. Your choice. You choose whether you're going to take your medicine or not, right? Those of you who are supposed to have people in here supposed to be on medication. You choose whether you're going to take your medication or not, right? Is that right, Marie? And you say, "Well, I don't think I want to take it today." I talk to people all the time that are taking drugs to destroy their life. And you think, that's their choice. The first time they do it, it's their choice. Making wise choices means blessing of the Lord and maketh rich, and he hath no sorrow with it. Life has enough sorrow by nature without us adding to our problems. So they don't add grief without like other people do. And if someone's, look, I'm not Elisha, but if I stand here and say, "I know if you do this, I know if you go down that path," and I told kids this, or teenagers this, if you go down that path, it's going to destroy your life. And someone say, "So, it's my life. I can do with what I want," right? It is their life, but they don't like the consequences of it. Don't add grief to it. There's a man that we know, I'll call him by name, half people in this room would know it. Okay? Shot himself on purpose. Okay? Shot himself in the leg. Said he wanted to see what it felt like. Now there's another guy that has been to this church before that shot himself. Shot during hunting season. He was getting up from a sitting position, and his gun went off and shot himself in the toe. That was unintentional. So I went to him. I saw him at the hospital. It's like 2 years ago, hunting season. I saw him at the hospital, and I said, he's on medication by the time he's pretty well medicated by the time I got there. And I said, how you doing? He said, I shot the biggest sucker in the woods. He's talking about himself. And he shot his toe. Wonder it didn't bleed out. He was okay. Okay. Someone else made a choice to shoot himself in the leg. He said, I want to see what it felt like. Okay. And I think, why in the world? Why in the world would we do that? Well, how come God didn't stop him from doing that? Choice. His choice. Right? Every one of us makes choices to do right or do wrong. Every one of us makes choices to do stupid things. Things have been in the news this past week about the trainees at the state correctional facility, trainees during giving a Hitler type salute. I'm not going to do it right now because it'll be on the internet. And if I did that, someone would post that right there. So give the Hitler type salute. And I don't think they were doing it to honor Hitler. I think they were doing it as a joking thing. Okay, from what I've heard so far, discussions that have been made, they did it as a joke because of the strict teacher that they had. Someone called her Hitler, somebody, or when they first walked in, or Heil Hitler type thing, and so they started. But it was a stupid thing. People lost their jobs over it, right? So far, a lot probably a lot more will. Okay. How come God doesn't stop us from doing stupid things? Our choice. God gave Israel the law, Old Testament law. He said, you choose life or you choose death. You choose the blessing, you choose cursing. And most often they chose the cursing instead of the blessing. Nature. Right? It's a human nature just to go against what they've been told to do. Anybody here ever go against what you've been told to do? Okay, I'm the only one. Okay. You're free to choose, and I choose life every time. So Hazael kills Ben-Hadad, became king of Syria, and everything that God said through Elisha was going to happen happened exactly as God said it would happen. So Jessica, if God would say, "This is what I know," if someone would come and say, "I know you're going to do this," would you go ahead and do it anyway? If it's something that was bad, like this, like Hazael, Ben-Hadad, it's something bad. If someone comes to you and says, Marlon, I know you're going to do this, and you know it's a bad thing, would you go ahead and do it anyway if you know? It's like getting caught before you start, right? There's certain places, I drive every day, okay? 1,500 miles a week, whatever it is. There's certain places I know the state troopers are going to be sitting, okay? I always slow down at those places. There's certain towns that I drive through, I know I'm going to slow down once I go through those towns because I just know. I just know they're going to be sitting there, so I ease up on the gas just a little bit because I got a lot to do, got a lot of places to go, got a long way to go. But I kind of slow down when I know I'm supposed to. Once in a while you get caught because when you go a little bit faster than what you thought you were going to do, or you do something you didn't think it was that bad, turns out it was, right? You got to pay the price, speeding ticket, whatever it is. Any questions? Any testimonies? Any questions about how does God know? Any questions about why didn't he stop them? Why didn't he stop them? Can he? Can God stop every evil act? Yes, he can. But he doesn't. He chooses to let us make those choices. Who's the first person ever born? First man ever born in the world. Not Adam, Cain, right. Okay? What did Cain do? Killed his brother, right? Could God have stopped that? Yeah, he could have. What's the natural tendency of man? From Cain on. Blame your brother when he does right, kill him when you have to. Okay? Kill him if he gets praise and you did wrong. Okay? Hasn't changed. 6,000 years. History hasn't changed yet. Okay. Any questions? Comments?
Thank you, Lord, for loving us. Thank you for the truth you've given us in your word. Help us to make wise choices in raising our families, going on our job site, and if we do, we want to bring honor and glory to you. If we know we're doing something we shouldn't be doing, help us to examine it, get it right, and not continue on it. Help us take our medicine spiritually, physically, whatever it is we're supposed to be doing. Use us, please, for your glory. Thank you for our church family. Bless each one. In Jesus' name we ask. Well, we're supposed to take up an offering. Anybody got money for an offering? We're supposed to do that. Anybody bring an offering? We'll pass it. Bring Sunday. Okay? I only mention it now because Michelle mentioned Charlie gets the offering money and sticks it in his pocket. If I forget to ask it, it comes back in Sunday. Okay. Thank you.